This is the sit to stand exercise. For this exercise, we can use any sort of chair that we've got at home, so a dining chair is preferable. To make it a little bit easier, however, we can use a pillow to prop ourselves up. By using a pillow, we can actually increase the height, making the exercise a little bit easier. To perform this exercise, Linda, I'm going to get you to put your feet shoulder width apart, feet going out in front, good, arms over the chest, stay nice and tall with your shoulders relaxed. What I want you to do is bend at the hips and slowly bring yourself back into the seated position. Good. So starting this one again, on the way up, I want you to push your heels into the ground and slowly come back into that starting position again. Good. We'd normally go through 8 to 10 repetitions of this one here and then have a rest before going on to your second set. This completes the sit to stand exercise. This is the standing bicep curl exercise. For this exercise, we'll be using a band. For this exercise, I'll get you to stand on top of the band for me. That's it. Feet flat on the ground, and I want your palms turned out for me. That's it. Shoulders nice and relaxed and nice and tight with the tummy. What I'll get you to do now is bend at the elbows and bring those arms just below shoulder height to there. Good. And then bring them back down to the starting position. Have a breath and then go through again. Good. So normally we'd go through 8 to 10 repetitions of this one here, have a rest before repeating. To make this exercise a little bit more challenging, you can use some hand weights. With the hand weights, the setup of the exercise is exactly the same. So I'm going to get you to let go of that band. Thanks for that. Take both those hand weights in your hand. I'll get you to start with your arms facing outwards and go through the same way you would as if you had the band. So bending at the elbows, coming up just below shoulder height, and then relaxing back down. Nice and tall through your torso, feet flat on the ground. Normally we'd go through 8 to 10 repetitions of this exercise, followed by a rest and then repeat. This concludes the standing arm curl exercise. This next exercise is the step up. For the step up, we're using a small step, but any step that you've got at home will be sufficient. If needed, you can use some support like a handrail. So, for this one, Linda's going to place her left leg onto the step. With her knee and toe in line, she's going to then roll forward up into the standing position. Good. And then take the left leg back to then go back to starting position. She'll do 5 to 6 repetitions on the left leg before changing over to the right. This completes the step up exercise.
This next exercise is called sidestepping. So for this exercise, we need to set up your posture first. So for this exercise, we need to create a nice stable base. To do that, we need to make sure our feet are slightly wider than that, so your feet directly under your hips. You want to draw your tummy in and lift your chest. That gives you a nice stable posture in which you can do the exercise. So from here, Alan, we're going to do a side step. So you want to be picking your feet up and then stepping out to the side. Nice, slow and controlled. Let's have a look, Alan. Good, so pick your feet up. A little bit smaller in your step, please, for me, Alan. That's it, still too big. Well done. So we'd like you to do 8 to 10 in one direction and then 8 to 10 coming back in the other direction. Sidestepping is a really great way to teach your body to go in different directions. We do a lot of our work in this plane, in the frontal plane. So sidestepping just is a really nice, healthy way to get the muscles around your hips and your bottom working better. This completes our sidestepping exercise.
This next exercise is the wall push-up. To set up the wall push-up, you'll start with your feet just underneath your hips, up nice and tall through the tummy, and shoulders down nice and relaxed. I want you to bring your arms up and place them on the wall with the fingers up. Good. So just underneath shoulder height. Elbows are facing in, not facing out. I want you to keep your tummy nice and braced. You're going to gently lower yourself to the wall, keeping the neck and the spine in neutral. Good. And then push out. Lower yourself into the wall, pausing at the bottom, and then using your chest muscles to then push out nice and tall. Shoulders are relaxed throughout. You'll go through 8 to 10 repetitions of this exercise before having a break and then repeating, holding form throughout. This completes the wall push-up exercise.
This next exercise is called your spider wall marching. This is a great exercise to help improve the strength around your shoulder and the flexibility through the range of motion in your shoulder. So for this exercise, Alan, I'll get you to come a little closer to the wall. And it's just as it sounds. So you're going to put your hand on the wall, just one hand, come a little bit closer for me. So you want to be nice and close to the wall, and then you're going to crawl your hand up the wall like it's a spider, keeping your eyes straight ahead. Off you go. So it's up to you how high you go. If you're pretty good like Alan, he's going to go all the way up to the top. That's it. Reaching up as high as you can, working the muscles through your arm and your shoulder. Well done. And then coming back down the same way. It's also a great exercise to challenge your motor skills in your fingers. So this is why we like you to look straight ahead and not follow your eyes up as your hand goes up. We would like you completing this exercise 8 to 10 times on each side and twice through with a rest in between. That completes our spider wall march exercise. Our next exercise is called foam mat or pillow marching. It's a balance exercise that helps with your coordination and your balance. For this exercise, you will need either a pillow or, if you have access to one, a balance mat, a piece of foam or something similar. We find that quite often a couch pillow is a really great thing to use for this exercise. So for this exercise, we're going to use the foam mat because we have access to it. I'm going to pop this down on the floor beside you, Alan. I would like you to stand onto the mat. And you can do this in front of a wall. That way, in case you lose your balance, you have something to hold on to. So Alan, we're going to start holding on to the wall. And I would like you to march on the spot. So just picking one foot up at a time, up and down. So you don't have to pick your feet up very high. And as you go, I'd like you to keep your toes up. So keeping your toes up as you go, Alan. That's it. To make this a little more challenging, we're going to let go of the wall. So Alan, I'll just get you to move back into the centre of the mat. And again, oh, don't fall over. Again, marching on the spot. So just up and down. That's it. Quite often, the slower you go, the harder the movement is. So I might get Alan to move a little bit faster if you can, Alan. Just marching on the spot. That's it. We'd like you marching for about a minute. You can hold on, or you can do it like Alan is right now and just do it freestanding. That completes our standing pillow or foam mat marching exercise. This exercise is called your standing band row. You will need a TheraBand of some kind for this exercise. You can use a flat band, or you can use tubing, or even better, tubing with handles. We're going to use the one with handles today. So position yourself in front of a pole, banister or something similar, and wrap the band around the pole. From there, holding onto the handles or the end of the band. So make sure the tubing is in line with your diaphragm, elbows in line with your body, and you're going to pull the handles in towards your chest. That's it. Slowly back out and repeat. Making sure your tummy is in, your chest is lifted. That's it. And breathing throughout the exercise. I'll just get you to lift your hands a little bit higher, Alan. That's it. Nice and slow, feeling the squeeze across your upper back, working the postural muscles through your upper back. We would like you doing 8 to 10 repetitions of this exercise with a rest in the middle and then doing the second set. That completes our standing band row.